Hey guys, zpolt here and I'm back for another video, and today we're gonna take a look at a Japanese IEM. This is the RTO RK01. So this is one of the first Japanese mid-fi IEMs that I'm gonna review in the channel. So we're gonna compare it to the Chi-Fi manufacturers and also maybe the Shure 846 here in the channel. Is it better? We're gonna find out in this video. But of course, big thanks to RTO themselves. Links down below for their shop. Use my links if it will help out the channel a lot. So let's take out the RK01. So it says RTO RK01 stereo earphones, 3.5mm plug cable, and also a 2.5 balance cable and 4.4 and a leather case. So it's nice that you have several cables inside. At the back, not a lot of stuff, and very minimalist overall, very Japanese feeling overall. Alright, so you are greeted with manuals. It says stereo earphones. So it's 10mm dynamic driver and also 20 to 20K, 18 ohm impedance also. Alright, so let's put this aside. Warranty card, and you have Japanese paper. Let's open this up, and wow, look at this, guys. You have a leather case and it's tan leather also, and you have the RK01 right away. But of course, we're gonna check that out in a bit. Let's look at what's inside here first. So it's nice that they have several cables. I can use this with my WM1A because of the 4.4 connector. Alright, so these are the cables, and you have a nice touch here. You have a holder. Alright, so this is the cable. This is, I believe, the 4.4 cable. Alright, so it's made pretty well, metal, and 4.4 here also, an L plug, which is nice, and also in the fork area it is also metal. So it's a pretty thin cable overall, but it does feel upscale still. It's not the 8-core cable thickness that you have, so this feels also very light. So yeah, if you don't like thin cables, maybe you should find another cable. But yeah, this is pretty thin, but still, it feels upscale. I wouldn't really gripe about it. So you have a 2.5 jack, which is nice. Right, so next, let's go with the case, the leather case, and wow, this looks really good. And it looks like origami as well. So yeah, I'm not sure how to open this up. So maybe here in this area. Okay. Right. There you go. Very Japanese opening also, like origami opening. So this is, I believe, the 3.5mm jack. So it is built the same as the 4.4 and 2.5. And this is MMCX all the way. And also inside, you have additional tips. And this is spin fits here, so very nice. Spin fits is one of my favorite tips. So right off the bat, guys, this is built of titanium, so very good build here. And also look how minimalist the design is. So I'm really a fan of the design here. Kind of reminds me of the Tin T3 in a way, but it is more minimalist. All right, so it's very minimalist, no logos whatsoever. I do resonate with that. I like that kind of design. Right, and it has a little bit of shape also on the other side. Right, so comparing it quickly with the Tin T3, as you guys can see, they have a similar finish overall. And on the other side, there's some similarities, but definitely the RK01 is smaller. This is how it looks like when put in. So again, there's no ear hooks here, so you can put this in a normal earbud position, or maybe you can hook this at the back of your ear. Okay, so let's put this in. So this is how it looks like. And non-ear hook style. Alright, so it's quite light on the ear. Comfort, I would say, is really good. In terms of looks, definitely it is a looker for me. The minimalist design definitely resonates with me. It does look upscale. So definitely in terms of looks, I do like this. In terms of isolation, I would say average. I can still hear my voice here. So this is not something that you want to use if you want to black out all the noise. I would say just average in terms of isolation. And even if it doesn't have the super flush design that you have with maybe the TRN or KZs, This still fits well in the ear. It's still pretty stable. So even if I wobble my head, it doesn't fall down. But definitely this is not something that you want to use if you're active. This is more for a casual listening kind of scenario here. So overall, there's no issues with the build, comfort, and look so far. I'm pretty impressed so far. Alright, so I already listened to the RK01 and I did test it with single-ended and also balanced, so we're gonna discuss those two. So overall, this is warm sounding in the RK01, but I would say it's still fairly neutral in the mids and highs department. It just has a touch of warmth at the bottom. So it's fairly natural sounding also, and it also has thumping bass here in the RK01. So right off the bat, if you're a bass head, you may like the RK01. So it's rich sounding overall, but still has some cleanliness to the sound. So it's really transparent sounding here, even if it has that richness to the sound. So I would say really impressive here. They were able to find the middle line between being too accurate and being too rich. It's something in the middle. So this will please, I would say, both crowds. So there's also great detail here and also even micro detail in the RK01 across the range from bass, mids to highs as well. It also has some punch. So overall, it's a fun listen, but still has that precision here in the RK01. So the highs are energetic overall, good body, no sibilance also. And also well controlled in the highs department. So I did try to pump up the volume and I didn't encounter any issues. And also tons of detail again in the highs departments. And also quick highs here overall. It's not sloppy highs here. So definitely I would say transparent, clean highs overall. I'm a fan of the highs in the RK01. Mids. The mids is rich and clean at the same time. Transparent sounding again overall. Lots of clarity in the mids department. Energetic mids also. So the vocals are nice and forward in the mix. Good clarity overall in the mid. So again, this is more of the middle line between clean and rich. It's not super rich and it's not super clean also. It's something in the middle. It still has that rich tone to the mids, but it's not the thickest mids that I've heard. I would say all right in terms of the thickness, but very good mids I'd say here overall. Bass here is definitely a little bit more forward in the mix. It has some bass thump. So substantial bass here overall. It has light bass elevation but doesn't really overpower the rest of the spectrum. So bass heads again may like this IEM, and also lots of energy in the bass department. Definitely adds a bit of fun in the RK01. So definitely for those who doesn't like warmth in their life, you'll find this a bit excessive. So you need to take note of that here in the RK01. So soundstage here expansive, big stage here. The stage has more depth than width, so the stage feels more of a box shape rather than a circular shape that I'm usually hearing. And the soundstage is used well because the imaging is very good here in the RK01. So I would say this is one of the best traits of the RK01, also even one of the best that I've heard. So the layering here is really good. Imaging is one of the strong suits of the RK01. So it gives a clear sense of space here in the RK01, which is, I would say, really impressive. Separation here is very good also, even with the rich nature of the sound. Sometimes being too rich, it smoothens out the separation, but here it's not like that. The separation is still really good. I'd say again near black and white. Definitely not a mixing or mastering level in terms of separation, but for casual listening, this is already very good. It's easy to pinpoint the instruments here in the RK01. So overall, just to be honest here, the first time I put this in my ear, I already know that I'm gonna like it. That's the impression that I got from it. There's good detail across the range. The tonality is good, substantial bass and also mids forward in the mix, and rich sound overall. So this sounds like an IEM that's tuned for me, and also of course big stage and good imaging. That's why I knew that I'm gonna like the RK01. Alright, listening to it in balance mode with the WM1A, the soundstage increased, the depth even improved. So definitely yes, bigger stage when you're running it in balance. For me at the least with the WM1A. So I do like the balance better with the 1A versus the single-ended with my Cavalli tube hybrid. So versus the popular IEMs here in this channel, so versus the Fearless S4, which is $300. So the RK01 sounds more natural compared to the Fearless S4. The S4 is more smooth in comparison. Fearless S4 has mid slightly recessed. Also, RK01 has better imaging. RK01 is more transparent sounding overall, more clear across the range, has more dryness in the RK01. Fearless is more smooth sounding. RK01 is drier in comparison. So differently tuned, I would say, overall between the Fearless S4 and the RK01, but I do like the RK01 more. Compared to the Shure 846, just for fun, so the RK01 is richer, it has smoothness to the RK01. The Shure 846 is drier in comparison, more clinical in comparison. The 846 is still more accurate and precise. They have a similar stage. The RK01 has more warmth. So obviously they're both different. I would use the RK01 more for casual listening, and of course 846 for monitoring and maybe some casual listening. Compared to the TIN-T3, so the first time that I saw this, it reminded me of the TIN-T3, so that's why I want to compare, even if they have very far price ranges here. So overall, the RK01 is richer sounding, more body and detail overall in the RK01. The stage is bigger in the RK01. The highs can be comparable here. The mids are better in the RK01. The bass is definitely more substantial in the RK01, has more thump to the bass. The T3 sounds thinner side by side when compared to the RK01. And also more body overall in the RK01. RK01 also has better layering. So overall, even if the T3 is very good for the price, definitely the price bump to the RK01, I would say, is warranted. I do like the RK01 more. And just to add, what I really liked about this IEM, is very forgiving. So almost all the music I threw at it became better sounding. It added a touch of life to it. Okay, so verdict. So I think you already know I really like the RK01. It has good sound across the range, good body, good imaging, big stage. It has good sound across the range, good detail, good body, good imaging, good separation, good stage also. So really technically, there's a lot to like here with the RK01. And definitely I am impressed with this. I would say that this may be one of my daily drivers now, if not my main daily driver for casual listening. So this is more expensive than my usual, but yeah, I would say that it's warranted in terms of the upgrade. So definitely this can be an upgrade if you're coming from a TMZ T2 also. I think you'll be happy with the RK01. Of course, if I'm gonna nitpick, I would say that for some people, the bass here might be too much, especially if you don't like warmth in your life. Also ear hooks, I wish there was ear hooks here. And also the cable, it may be too thin for some people, especially those active people just bringing this anywhere. It might be too thin. I wish in the future maybe a thicker cable or a more sturdy cable might work. But definitely that is just, I would say, minor feedbacks here. Overall, I really like the RK01. I'll definitely recommend it. So that is my review of the RK01. I'm really impressed with this IEM. So far, Japanese stuff hasn't disappointed me at all, and it shows here in the RK01. Of course, if you want to get one, use my links below. And have you heard of the RTO? What do you think of them? Do you like them? And let me know down below. And of course, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.